Hello and blessings to you all. Thank you for stopping by our website for another in our series of Bible studies looking at the upcoming Sunday Gospel reading. For the fourth Sunday of Easter, also known as Good Shepherd Sunday, we'll take a look at Jesus' metaphor, I am the gate. In the Gospel of St. John, whenever Jesus utters the phrase I am, we should pay attention. Think about the other images he uses in his ministry. I am the bread of life. I am the light of the world. I am the resurrection and the life. Before we get to I am the good shepherd, a little bit later on in the 10th chapter of this gospel, Jesus tells us, I am the gate. In this Bible study and in the art that I'll be sharing with you, it's hard to separate shepherd and gate. So we'll take a look at both through images as well as commentary on the text. Let's get started with a few images. I don't know how accurate this painting is, but it possibly gives us a typical enclosure of the ancient world. Sheep happily grazing inside a wall, and a shepherd on guard at the opening. No sheep gets out, no wolf gets in. We can think of ourselves as a sheep, and then we ask ourselves, how is Jesus protecting us? How do we feel protected, accompanied, and companioned as we journey in our life of faith? The depiction of Jesus as a shepherd, as the Good Shepherd, is one of the oldest in all of Christian art. This image is from the Catacomb of St. Priscilla, 3rd century, the earliest piece of art that we've seen in this series. What do you make of this? What do you notice? Our next image is also from early Christianity, from a mausoleum in northern Italy. What do you notice here in a more well-clothed Jesus surrounded by sheep and carrying not a shepherd's staff, but the cross of life? Christians did not stop with these ancient images in depicting Jesus in painting, frescoes, statues, or stained glass. It's one of the most utilized images in all of sacred art. Let's get to the narrative of this coming Sunday's Gospel. We'll look at a little bit of art as we go through it, and then we'll finish up with more at the end of this Bible study. So we start from the first verse of the 10th chapter of the fourth Gospel. Jesus said, Amen, amen, I say to you, whoever does not enter a sheepfold through the gate, but climbs over elsewhere, is a thief and a robber. But whoever enters through the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens it for him, and the sheep hear his voice as the shepherd calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. Here's an illustration from almost 600 years ago. What do you notice in this? An important Old Testament reference is the 34th chapter of the prophet Ezekiel. It's worth looking at. The prophet criticized the leaders of the people for being evil shepherds, uncaring and unconcerned about the trials of their people. Take a look at Ezekiel 34 for a little bit more background on this. When he has driven out all his own, he walks ahead of them, and the sheep follow him, because they recognize his voice. But they will not follow a stranger. They will run away from him, because they do not recognize the voice of strangers. Notice the contrast between Jesus' criticism of bad leadership and the tenderness in this 17th century French painting. Don't look now, bad shepherds on the way. Although Jesus used this figure of speech, the Pharisees did not realize what he was trying to tell them. So Jesus said again, Amen, amen, I say to you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not listen to them. A 19th century stained glass from Australia's colonial period, Jesus with halo, shepherd's staff, and what looks to be a church vestment. What else do you notice in this image? I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved and will come in and go out and find pasture. A thief comes only to steal and slaughter and destroy. I came so that they might have life and have it more abundantly. It is important to realize that the sheepfold is not intended as a prison for Christians. It is not intended necessarily to be a protected enclave for us. Jesus tells us that we come in and we go out, and he assures us that he is always our companion on the life of faith. What meaning does this reading have for us? Well, I'm not going to tell you. It's only through our own reflection and thoughtfulness and conversation with God that we can get the answer to that. Let's look at a few more paintings, and we'll see where this might lead us in our reflection on I am the gate, I am the good shepherd. One of my favorite painters, James Tissot. What do you notice in this depiction of the good shepherd? Here is another image from the Jesus Mafa project of Cameroon from the 1970s. What do you notice in this African scene of the Good Shepherd and his sheep? Regular viewers know of my fondness for Orthodox iconography, but it's interesting that there are no old icons of the Good Shepherd. It's a fairly recent phenomenon for the art of Eastern Christians. But here's a contemporary icon of Jesus depicted as the Good Shepherd. What do you notice here? I would like to finish this shorter presentation with a prayer of a favorite saint of mine, Catherine of Siena, 14th century. Because of sin, you would not enter into your glory in the way your truth had intended. Your garden was locked up, and so we could not receive your fruits. This is why you made the Word, your only begotten Son, a gatekeeper. O gentle gatekeeper, O humble Lamb, you are the gardener, and once you have opened the gate of the heavenly garden, paradise, you offer us the flowers and the fruits of the eternal Godhead. My friends, in this time of pandemic, I continue to wish you well. I wish hope and peace for you, healing if you are sick, and good health and goodwill for those who are continuing to distance and be separated.